If you're anything like I was in college, then you have absolutely no money. And even though I had absolutely no money, I was still able to pay for both of my college degrees and graduate completely debt-free. My name is Sade, also known as the Scholarship Junkie, and I've won over $200,000 in scholarships and graduated completely debt-free. Now I teach others to do the same thing with content like this and a ton more resources on my website at thescholarshipcollective.com. Now that we got that out of the way, I do want to introduce a concept to you guys that this ultimately was the way that I was able to pay for college. And it's not just about scholarships, it's actually much, much broader than that. And I want to explain that concept and that type of organization today. There's one type of organization that completely propelled me forward, not only academically, but in my career as well. So I want to start with that one thing, and it is, drumroll please, professional organizations. Now, professional organizations, a lot of people don't know what they are, especially if you're younger at the student level and you're not already in the career that you want to be in. A professional organization is essentially an entity set up and structured to propel forward a specific career, a specific industry, whether that be nursing, whether that be accounting. There's a ton of different professional organizations, all for different purposes of propelling those career paths forward. And every single discipline you can think of, literally anything, there's a professional organization associated with it. And in that situation, you're going to find yourself thinking, well, where can I find those professional organizations? We're going to talk about that later. But for now, I'm going to give you an overview on the 3 reasons that professional organizations are ultimately going to be your keystone to paying for college. 3 things you'll get from a professional organization when you're a student. Number 1, a network. Network is hands down one of the most valuable things you're going to get from a professional organization. You're going to meet people who are already in your field, who already have the ties and connections you're probably looking for as someone who is going to be a new grad or who's even just coming into college to get different types of opportunities. Next on the list is definitely career opportunities. When I was in different organizations while I was in college, one of them being the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, I was an accounting major. And so I sought out all different organizations that focus specifically on accounting and in the accounting realm. So finance, things like that as well. These career opportunities were so critical for me being able to pay for college because I was getting internships that were paying $25 an hour, $34 an hour by the time I graduated. And it was all because I knew the people who were, eventually putting me in a position to get hired by these big firms. So the network that you get and the career opportunities that you get from these professional organizations alone will be enough money to pay for college if you plan to work and do internships while you're in college. On a separate note, there are scholarship opportunities and discounted resources on pretty much every single professional organization I've ever heard of, specifically for students. If you are a student looking to be in a professional organization, most of the time the membership is either free or extremely discounted. When I say extremely discounted, I remember back when I was paying for the National Association of Black Accountants, it was about $35 per year. So we're talking like pennies on pennies on pennies. And it was a great investment because that one organization, I was able to win over $20,000 in scholarships from that one organization. And that was an amazing opportunity because I had no idea that just this one organization was going to give me so much value. And the reason it gave me so much value is because these professional organizations that you hear about are national organizations. So what you're looking to get involved with is not just going to be the national organization. There's going to be opportunities on the national level, on the regional level, and on the local level where like right in your hometown or where your school is located. So really understanding the pull and the depth of these organizations is ultimately going to help you get opportunities and scholarships and networking opportunities that are going to actually propel you forward and help you pay for college. All of those things, help me pay for college, not just the scholarships, but actually being able to get internships and job opportunities that help me pay for college and pay off my debt that I took off my freshman year when I wasn't winning scholarships. So thinking about that alone, this one thing, if I just did that and nothing else, I still would have been pretty close to paying for college completely free on top of my merit-based scholarships and everything else that I was getting. And professional organizations are one of the most slept on opportunities that I see students across the country not even think about, because they don't want to deal with the process of, I need to sign up, I need to register or whatever. And then they don't realize that now they've significantly increased their chances of winning scholarships for specifically because you're only competing against any student who is registered to be a member of that organization. You're not competing against the whole world for every other scholarship, for example. And when you do that, you also increase your chances of getting more money, because there's been 2 times where I applied for a scholarship that was maybe only $1,000 or maybe only $2,000 and ended up getting an extra $500 or an extra $1,000 because they still had to disperse all of the money, but they didn't have enough students to disperse it to. So they just increased the scholarships of the students who did win. And that goes to show you that these organizations, competitions are relatively low competition compared to other types of scholarships. So whatever $5 investment or whatever the membership maybe costs, and a lot of times for students it is free, but sometimes there is a nominal fee to pay. I think it's always worth it, and you'll always get your money back in tenfold when you do that. Investing in yourself is so important, and that is exactly why I'm going to show you guys how to find these professional organizations, what to look for, what's some keywords that you should be searching so you can actually figure out what professional organizations are going to be applicable to you. The first thing that you're going to definitely be looking for 100% is going to be your specific major. That's always, or your specific interest and field that you want to go into. So whether that's film, whether that's nursing, whether that's being a doctor, all of the different things that you're interested in, that's the type of thing that you're going to be looking for professional organizations for. Now, if there is a certain certification that you know that you need to get as someone who is going to be going into a certain field, that's also something you can look for. For example, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants is an accounting organization, but without knowing what a certified public accountant is or anything like that, you probably would never think to look for an organization related to a CPA or related to that, only accounting, So it's one of those things where you think to yourself, what type of things may I want to be doing when I become a nurse? So there are things for nurse practitioners. There are things for people who are aspiring psychiatrists. So it's really important to be kind of thinking forward, like what career do I want, and backpedaling that from how you're going to look for these professional organizations. So how you're going to look for these professional organizations is you're going to take the list of your major, your different characteristics about yourself. So if you're a female, if you are a certain ethnicity, if you are, of a certain demographic that maybe is underrepresented in that space, that's also, you want to look for affinity groups within that as well. Because just like there are national organizations specifically for accounting, there are national organizations specifically for Black accountants and Hispanic accountants, and it's the same thing in the same exact way for all the other professional industries. So when you're talking about, for example, marketing, there's going to be a marketing association, but then there's also going to be a marketing association for the network of New York specifically. So that's something you need to be thinking about as well. And that's where you're going to find those national, regional, local opportunities to do different things. And mostly how you're going to find that is by taking your field and looking for keywords like association. That's a good one. Another one is society. So your major, society, in the Google search bar, your major, association, in the search bar, your major organization in the search bar. Those are the types of keywords that are going to get you to what you're looking for good enough that you're going to actually be able to apply for those scholarships and get opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise get. Also, another way, I know it's overwhelming to go through and try to find different organizations. We do have a free scholarship list. That in that free scholarship list, there's a little tab for professional organizations that we did some research for that already offer scholarships and other things. So if you are interested in that list, it's completely free, and I'll link it down below in the description. But most of the time, when you're looking for these scholarships and you're looking for these opportunities from these different organizations, it's all about right place, right time, right? As early as possible, you should be trying to get yourself involved with these organizations as early as possible. And it's not just college students, it's students who are also in high school. There are a ton of organizations that focus on the high school level as well, because they're trying to get students interested enough at the high school level to actually pursue it as a major in college. So there's so many ways and so many opportunities with these professional organizations. And if I had to do college all over again and try to graduate debt free all over again, I would absolutely join multiple professional organizations again, because it was the cornerstone to me ultimately being debt free after college. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. We have a ton of other resources to help you guys pay for college at thescholarshipcollective.com, and a bunch of different videos that we're making for you guys to learn how to pay for college one day at a time. So make sure you check out the channel for more info, and subscribe and like this video if you enjoy.